Hey, what's up, Skyball? I'm here with Imagination Creation Films, and today we're talking about this, the ULR1 long-range wireless video system from Dwarf Connection. So let's talk about wireless for a moment. Now, there are quite a few out there on the market today, and some of them are quite scarce to get. While many have gone to the lowish latency compressed video signal transmitters, professionals who demand the best require no latency transmitters. And today, we're going to talk about one you may not have heard of, but you probably should. The Dwarf Connection's ULR1 wireless system. It's one of those you should learn about. Now, quick note, Dwarf Connections did send this wireless system to me to review, but no money has changed hands, and I have to send the system back here shortly. So, yeah. As always, my opinions are my own, and Dwarf Connection doesn't have any insight into what I'm going to say. So, fair and honest is what you'll get, as always. So I told them I wanted to test the ULR system, which is their ultra long range system. ULR, get it? Ultra long range, yeah. The reason is, this typically shows off what a full system design can do. So if it works long range, it works short range. And honestly, the ULR can function as a short range pretty easily. And we'll talk about that in just a moment. Now, the ULR1 offers two 3G SDI inputs and one HDMI input with loop-through on the transmitters, and two SDI outputs and one HDMI output on the receiver. Now, 3G SDI is capable of 10-bit 422 uncompressed video at up to 1080p 60 frames a second. Now, it also includes two channels of embedded audio on either HDMI or SDI. Now, the transmitter also offers multicast, where you can transmit to up to 4 receivers, and you can use AES-128 encryption should you desire. Now, there are 8 channels in the frequency range, and you can easily scan to determine which one is the cleanest for the area that you're operating in. You don't need to pair them, you just simply select the channel you want to operate in, and away you go. And the system is fully FCC compliant, so no worries about frequency compliance, and no worries about showing up on set and someone goes, "You can't run that here." It happens. The ULR1 system is capable of 1,200 meters of range, or about 3,900 feet, but it can be expanded to 2,400 meters of range with the optional high-gain antennas. Now, range is line of sight on these and pretty much every wireless system in this class, so 1,200 meters will be a stretch for any system, and, well, this one's no exception. One of the first things I did is perform a range test out here in the middle of nowhere. Now, even though I'm in the middle of nowhere, there are still obstructions, and they can drastically reduce transmission distance since most of the wireless systems are using 5.1 to 5.9 gigahertz range. Now, this range doesn't like to go through objects well. So let's give it a test and see what we see. All right, so there's our cameras there. We're going to cruise down the road. We've already run this once before, so we know how far we can go. There are trees and telephone poles and electricity poles, but all kinds of things, and hopefully there's not too much wind noise. So we're over 200 feet now. Keep on going. I'm kind of pointed directly right there in the center. That's where the camera is. Okay, we're now over 500 feet. Okay, keep going, yeah. Right here, we're well past 800 feet. coming up this is about, stop here. So right about here, it's going to be really hard to tell, but the camera should be right in there. And we are about 1,100 feet or so from the camera itself. So I'm going to get out here for a minute and walk around, and we'll see it. We've noticed that it loses connection with these trees, because you can see there's a lot of weeds back through there. Come over this way, it might improve. We got a really solid signal right through here, and we won't know what it looks like until we get back and look, because I don't have the actual transmitter or the receiver here. So we're gonna go back and see if we can get a longer distance out of this. Go to the driveway and turn around. Yeah, we're gonna take it quite a bit further here. Right through here, it started cutting in and out, but we were able to regain signal at times. It just depends. Now, this is a 5.1 to 5.9 gigahertz transmitter and receiver, so it is very much line of sight. Anything in the way is going to potentially block it. We should have signal now. It should appear. How about? You should be able to see the camera soon. About 300 feet, 350 away. And that's, go ahead and pull in, pull in. Pull in. And there we go. So that's the test. As you can see on the other monitor, it's doing fine. I mean, out here it's kind of rough, and you don't ever expect to get perfect scenario with that when they advertise 1,000 meters, it's like 3,800 feet or 3,900 feet, something like that. You're never going to get that unless you were like in a plane pointed down where there's absolutely nothing obstructing. But you want a good representation of that, or a good multiple of it, and I don't think 1,200 feet is that bad for these conditions. There are probably ways to increase that. In fact, I know if you go with a panel array of antennas, you can absolutely get that to extend. Now, these are just the small Wi-Fi antennas. Well, not Wi-Fi, but the small 5.9 gigahertz antennas. So there's definitely going to be some shortages with that. We only have the two antenna array here and the 5 antenna array there. But yeah, let's go back to the inside. So like I showed in the demo, the range is pretty darn good, and if there was absolutely nothing in the way, it would probably get close to the 1,200 meters. But bushes, trees, tall grass, barbed wire, etc., all those pesky things, well, they do take a toll on any signal in this high frequency range. Now, Mounting the system is pretty straightforward, like any other professional wireless system. Just screw in a magic arm or similar and secure close to your camera. Connect your power to battery or your battery's DTAP or your camera, and away you go. Now, the receiver has a built-in V-mount, so turning it into a simple director's monitor or First AC's monitor is quite simple and compact. Now, overall, I found the system to work quite well. The range was reasonable. The weight of the system is pretty typical. The construction is well built, and it just worked. Now, they do offer it in shorter range versions, should that be all that you ever want. But like I said, I like the long range for the ultimate in flexibility. And on this system, you can turn down the output power if you are close, so you can save on battery power. So you get the best of all worlds with the long range systems. So what are the pros and cons of this system? Well, pros, it worked. It worked well. It's FCC compliant, and it's really easy, and it's well built. What are the cons? Well, I wasn't able to get the full range out of it, but in fairness, I haven't gotten the full range out of any other system out here either. Price, well, it can be pricey, but it's still cheaper than a Teradek. The ULR1 system is just over $7,000, about $7,300-ish. And the shorter range versions are under $3,000. So there's a large range there, but choose appropriately, because if you ever need the long range, it's not easy to make a short range into a long range. In fact, sometimes it's not even possible at all. So a long range that you can turn down becomes the transmitter system you can use for a long time. Now, it's nice to have options in this industry, especially when the options are equal to or better than the others. And in this case, the performance was equal and the price was better. And that adds up to a solid option from Dwarf Connection. So what did you think about this system? Is it something you've been looking for? Let me know in the comment section down below. I'd love to know your thoughts on the system. And as always, as I like to leave it, don't let your passions center around your life. Let your life center around your passions.